I hope you're at least okay. Today's a Thursday. Oh my god. Ah. Oh yeah, okay, good. It's so hard because I like aspire to plan out what I'm gonna do on stream every day. And I'm finally like my schedule's finally allowing for me to get back into it, and I'm so happy about it. Ow. My thumb is still owie, still bead, still sad. Should probably go get a paper towel. I was like, I'm on time. I have to go again. Fuck. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Every time I sit here, I'm like, I'm so pale. And then I start, it's evolved into like, I'm so tired. And anytime I feel something, I say it, and it makes me feel bad because it's like, am I allowed to say that? Is that a bad thing to say? I didn't think about the undertones of me saying that. So I'm like, ooh, hmm, maybe I should stop that one. But anyways, I'm pretty satisfied today. I I did a lot of things. Somehow I didn't do enough things. I don't know how it works. My brain's just like, you can do more. Do more. And I sit here and I'm like, God, no. No more. And just because this is my break period, which is really nice. I get like a week off. Not full week off, but I still have things to do this weekend. I'm gonna work tomorrow. I was like, oh. Oh. And then next week, I guess we have the holidays too, so. Eh. I know, it's been good weather. I like the weather we've been having in Nebraska. It's been rainy, kind of foggy, which is vibey. I enjoy that. Also, like, I don't know. I've been digging it. I've been tired though. I was like working out, my phone died halfway through. I just sat there and I was like, do I cry? Because I was like already in so much pain. And then I had to finish my workout in silence because, and I had it all written down. So I was like, I did like half my body. And then I was like, God damn it, now I have to do the other half. Because, time under pressure or whatever is what helps you build muscle mass. Endurance. Just kind of messed myself up there, which isn't too bad. What else? What else? I don't know, there's been lots of things in the news today. Not a lot of things that I feel like called. I don't know what else to say. I don't really have a lot of desire to do like a full blown history stream. I just haven't had like the motivation to do it. I know you guys have been like, Josie, why no history? Because I just haven't had the motivation. And it takes a lot of research, and I have a lot of other things I've been doing. But I'm gonna have a whole new genre of things we're gonna dive into in the next couple of months, which will be really fun. I've been planning it out. And yeah, that's just kind of been the vibe as of late. I'm hoping that it stays kind of okay. I don't know. I think about it though. I'm just like, what am I gonna do about that one? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Fucking Chrome has a chatbot called Gemini, and I keep getting pop-ups for it because every time I try to use a different browser to monitor OBS, it doesn't work as well. Does it? It doesn't. And I hate Chrome, but Chrome is like, I don't know. I bet there's other ones I could use that'd be better. It's just so easy. It's just easy to have it all in one, which is so lazy because they farm your data and everything, and it's so bad. talked about how PewDiePie made a whole video about how it's bad, whatever. Oh well. I cry in European a wee wee. This is like a throwback fit too. I haven't worn this in a long time. I wear flannels often. Not often enough, but often. I think it's part of being a Midwesterner. You just have it everywhere. And it's like, well, it's easy. It's comfortable and it's easy. I'll make them. Okay. Been using my nail oil religiously. Often. I'm just a girl. I don't know, I really want to talk about like GLP-1s and Wicked today too. We're gonna have to see how it is. I also assume that George is probably not gonna be here because he's bitter about the whole Trump thing. Vibes. I don't mind it when like I'm kind of by myself a bit too. We'll see how it goes. I was in a really big funk yesterday. I was not feeling good. I was like, ugh. I think I'm getting a tad bit sick. Honestly, and I was really stressed out yesterday. I was like, ugh. We were talking about stuff and I was not on it. I was like, ooh, this is embarrassing. But the food was so good. So it was like a vibe. I don't know. Sometimes I have like these moments where I'm just like, damn, I really do this. And that was like yesterday. And I was like, why do I do this? I bet a lot of you guys have wondered why I like stream and stuff. The answer is, I don't know. I feel weird when I don't, so I just kind of do it. And it's really experimental for me, honestly. Oh, there we go. And it's so fun, because sometimes I just get to sit here and it gets to be like very chill. And other times it's very exciting. There's so many people, so many chickens. Love it. Ugh. Oh, what do I have to talk about? Oh, I've been, what else have I been doing? I've just been really boring. I slept a lot because I was not feeling good. I slept for like 10-ish hours. So that gives you a frame of reference. But then I have energy to like work out and stuff. But I don't know. It's probably good I didn't do like a full workout today because I was so tired. I don't know. It's hard for me to know, not really hard for me to know when I should take a break, but I can just like take it too far sometimes, and I should have been taking breaks earlier, and my body's like, girl, chill. And that's okay. Let's see. Oh, my candle's going. Or at least it should be going, but look, it's almost gone. Oh yeah, and I had to redo my nails last night. There's a whole thing. Ugh. There we go. I'll be nice for a bit. I could just take a nap right now. But I kind of just have to keep chatting when nobody's here too. I have to like blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. I'm probably gonna start getting into it in about like 15 or so. That's usually when I start talking about stuff. I hope everyone's like a good busy today too. I think that's really nice. I like it when you guys do life stuff. How everything cycles over time. It's really fun for me actually. Because then you guys go for a bit and then you have like, I don't know, it's just cool to see where everyone like transitions in life over time. Maybe that's not the best word, but like everyone like fades into another thing and then another thing and then another thing. Really nice actually. Oh, I found out today that if you itch your nose a lot, people think you're on cocaine, which I thought was like a joke, but it's like for real. And a lot of people are like, no, it's a sign. It's like so obvious. And I'm like, what if they have a cold? What if they have allergies like me? Or like I have a broken nose, so like you can kind of see it with like how the light reflects on it. So I'll like do this a lot to like I don't know, clear it up. So I'm usually doing like that and there's like nothing coming out of my nose or whatever and people are like, "Oh, but I do it so that like I just can like inhale evenly just for like a breath." And people get weird about it and I'm like, "Damn. That's fucking awkward." I don't know how I feel about that one. It's so fun. Oh my god. I haven't had this in like a couple of, it's been longer than that. I think it's been like a while. Oh my god. During my flop era. I'm being kind of dramatic, honestly. It's so weird. I feel like I can talk about this because I'm by myself. Um, or breaking the fourth wall like any bod viewers. Uh, I feel like I rotate on like what platform is doing good and why it's doing good. So the videos where, how do I say it? Like the VODs where I'm kind of talking by myself a lot more, they tend to do a bit better on YouTube, which makes sense. And then, um, let's see. There's sometimes like where on Twitch nobody's really here, but then like my TikTok does really well, and then I'm just like steadily like growing there. So it's like I never really get like the oh my god, I'm flopping as like a whole because I'm so branched out. And then sometimes like on Instagram it'll like randomly do better. And I don't really even try on Instagram. I just put art shit down. Cause I'm like, man, I do so much content on TikTok and fucking other platforms. I just don't care that much to do a ton for Instagram. I feel like people have told me, you should. And I'm just like, eh. It's just so awkward because it's so like, it's like a portfolio almost. And I have ideas for what I would do with Instagram, but I'm not really there yet. And it's like, people are like, oh, you should do with what you have, you know, make it work. And I'm like, no. Because I don't know, I just don't like sharing my life that much. So I'm just like, like I like to have my own little like secrets, you know, secrets. So yeah, it's really fun. So like, how do I say it? The past couple of days have been pretty okay on TikTok. So I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense that like Twitch isn't gonna do as good. Or if like I flop on Twitch, then we have like, or not on Twitch. If I flop on TikTok for a bit and get like low views and low like ratios, then more people come here. And I'm like, you know what? I give up trying to understand this all the time. It does not make that much sense to me. And I'm just like, well, okay, here I am. But yeah, we got 2 minutes. Dos minutos. And then I can start talking about the GLP-1 thing. It's actually kind of nice to vent a little bit. Oh, man, that feels good. I like stepped on a thorn, so I took like a nice warm shower, and I just got it out. So I'm like, oh, ooh, that feels really nice. The only problem with having like a greenhouse in your house, which is basically what I have in this room, is that a lot of my plants have needles. And sometimes they get on the ground, and then I step on them, and I'm like, oh wow, gee, thanks. Love that. But just so you guys know, it's not accessible to like my pets or anything. Hey, Type 2. How are you? Ugh. What is the up? Putting on lotion. Ugh. Get all nice and clean. Ooh. It's gonna be probably a more chill day. I don't know if everyone's gonna be here till later. It's a Thursday, bruv. You're wait, what was I gonna say? You're from kind of like the South, right? Like Tennessee? You don't have to like answer that if you don't want to. I'm curious about a couple of things. But I'm not going to put you on blast unless you like want to answer anything. I have so many questions. Oh, there we go. Oh, lotion. Oh my gosh, my hands have been like so cracked. Oh, it's been so cold here. Anyways, I've been wanting to talk a bit about GLP-1s. I don't know if you know about that, but it's like the like Ozempic and stuff. Yeah, you're from Tennessee. Have you met people who are on Ozempic there? And if you don't live there now, like, have you met anyone who's on Ozempic? Your ex-wife? That's a vibe. Yeah. I bet like my ex stepmom, because they got like divorced and stuff. I bet she's on it. She lost a lot of weight. Impressive. Yeah. Is it like a good thing or like an unhealthy thing? Because some people get into it like in an unhealthy way. My stepmom actually had what do you call it? She had type 1 diabetes. So I hope that she's on it for her own sake. And I don't really enjoy her a lot. Like, we don't have any form of relationship or whatever. But it might help her a little bit. Because it's originally for diabetes. Oh, hi, Tommy. Did you feel heartburn yesterday after eating or not? No. Type 2 says, it depends. I hear people are going blind when taking it. Something crazy. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. It's like, there's a lot of side effects. Let's see. I know a lot of people have like thrown up a lot where they got really nauseous. Side effects of GLP-1s. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. RIP. Oh, it's GoodRx. I don't know. Let's see. I'll be good. Lucky girl, we always take medicines after eating this meal. Really? Yeah. What gives me heartburn is if I'm never like hydrated enough. So that makes me not feel good. GoodRx is pretty okay with some stuff, but it's not the best, so I'll post the link anyways. Wait, Tahami, do people take Ozempic or like weight loss shots in Egypt? Is that becoming popular there? It's really popular here in the West. Like, so many celebrities have lost. Oh my gosh. Ah! I got hair in my nose. So many celebrities have lost a lot of weight. Just because they're on the shot. I have tea again. Oh, they prefer to go for the surgery solution. Damn. Surgery is like hardcore too. You actually have to lose weight for that. Would you guys ever try it? Because I've met a couple, not a ton of people. I've met 2 people who've tried it. And one of them, he actually had diabetes and he lost a lot of weight. And sometimes he wears his old clothes just because they're like sentimental to him. And he's just like, oh, it's so funny because he lost weight really quickly. So it's not like funny, but like it was a little like he was making jokes about it. So I feel like I can joke because you guys don't know who he is. Um, but he still walked like he had a lot of weight for a little bit. But yeah, type 2 says I'm chubby but not big enough to use it. Yeah, vibes. Vibes, vibes. I got like a hate DM once on TikTok telling me to go on a GLP-1. I was like, bro, no, thank you. Tommy says, as a person, no, if I took one of those, I'm gonna disappear. I'm almost a skeleton. Yeah. It's not that good for you. if you're already thin, you know? It just causes more problems. Have you seen the Wicked drama online? I don't know if you guys know about that. Like Ariana Grande and what's her name? Oh, Celia. Is her name Celia? I don't know. I don't really know her name. But they're like really skinny and well, underweight. And a lot of people from the Wicked cast from the movie are just like dropping a ton of weight. And the internet's freaking the fuck out about it. And it's drawing a ton of attention towards eating disorders and GLP-1s, like Ozempic. If it starts with Ariana, so I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, here in Egypt. Okay, how about you, type 2? Have you heard anything about it? It's like everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. And I was like, well, I guess I could talk about it a bit because I talk about fitness and health here every once in a while. And no idea. Wait, what? You don't know about? Are you guys on Reddit or like anything? Oh man, it's like everywhere. Okay, hold up. Okay, wicked. Wicked cast before and after. Now you've never been on Reddit? Oh man, I I help manage a subreddit. But it's mental health related, so it's okay. It's okay. Me too, man. It's a weird place. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, let's see. See if I can find the photo. I was on Something Awful, if you remember that site. What do you mean? It was before Reddit. 4chan? Chan. Okay, let's see if I can find it. I guess it was on like Facebook too. Maybe this is like a better image. No, the website is called somethingawful.com. Oh, it had old BB forums. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm confused. I'm a little hesitant to show this, but I feel like it'll be okay. Internet culture in the early 2000s was from Saudi Arabia. Oh. Wait, no, not Saudi Arabia. SA, what do you mean? South America? Ah! My brain. Oh. Oh, I've seen this. Something awful. It just means something awful. That's the acronym. Okay. Okay, now I feel dumb. Okay, well, I don't know what to like say about it, but like, oh no, you cannot see. Whoa, look at that. There you go, now you can. But you can see like over here how they dropped like a lot of weight very quickly. And there's lots of different images of it. Of 3 of the main cast members who've had the most drastic changes. People are freaking out about it. They're just like, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, let's see. No, that's not my thing. I was not born into that time. Oh, vibes. 4chan started on Something Awful, but the creator Moot was banned and he went and formed 4chan. Oh! Okay. What the fuck happened to them? Nobody knows. Here's like a better image. So 2020, 2025 for all of them. Some people say it's Ozempic. Hi! Fucking get it, pussy. We're going to the World Cup 26. Hi, Darius. We're talking about Wicked and GLP-1s. We don't know, but there's like a whole like eating disorder thing that's been going on. And it's all of the cast members too. It's not just the girls, but they've had the most drastic weight losses out of all of them. V2 the fucking Danish. Mixed sauce with the greatest overhead kick of all time. You've been hungover ever since. Ah, that's why you were here, you bitch. I had a feeling it'd be soccer related. Or football. Football. Type 2 says that was a good game. Yeah. I don't know. People are just really obsessed. And then, man, I want to talk about it because they have like the weird, like, oh my goodness. Last time Scotland got to the World Cup was in 98. Fair. Ireland game was fun too. Fives. Yeah, Troy Parrott turning into fucking Shabenko. Vibes. Oh my gosh. We're going back into it. Damn. Hope to not be with you in the same pool. You guys are like, every time I learn so much more about it. And I'm just like, fuck. Let's go YouTube. You're getting it if you are Tommy. One by one, they all fall into the power of the M series. Bro. Bro. Let's see. I think I might be able to find a good explainer. Okay, there's a couple of videos about it. They're all kind of old though. Let's see. We don't have to watch like a full video. I feel like that'd take like a long time. Wait, let's see. And okay, this might be better. Oh no, should we do the gossip stuff? I try not to talk about gossipy things. I feel like it's so bad, but this is like low-key kind of important though. Not like super. Oh no. You guys just haven't been following it. You don't know the vibes. You don't know. Oh my gosh. Darius says, hi, chaotic. Darius says, I hate these two fucking morons from Wicked. The amount of attention seeking they do in interviews is so over the top. Surprised aliens haven't shown up to tell them to shut up. That is so. You guys just don't get it. Like, this is what theater performances are like though, just so you know. Like I've been behind the scenes of like traveling Broadway shows and that sort of thing because I helped out with like theater and everything. And this is not uncommon at all to have like that really enmeshed like culty relationship dynamic. It is a lot more common than you think. A lot. Like, I don't know if you guys want to watch this or not. Oh my god, there's a helicopter. Hold my head. I'm gonna cry. Give me a break. Bro! Nah, I have a video. We don't have to watch it if you don't want to. But I feel like this kind of explains a bit of it. But this is the narrative that's being told. Did you watch Wicked? Yeah, I've read the book. I watched Wicked when I was younger on Pornhub. I'm not even joking with you. That's the first time I saw the musical. And then I watched the first one on TikTok. I haven't watched the second one yet though. I'm not even joking with you. I used to watch Broadway performances Just press play, Josie. I can't stop laughing. Okay. It works
and
though.
is speaking out after Ariana Grande
Don't
was
judge me.
attacked in Singapore.
That's how I got
Ariana is
all the
stepping
good
out of the press tour in
boys.
solidarity,
Simple bootlegs.
especially after people have continued to criticize Cynthia. So let's get into it.
It's far better science.
The Wicked Part 2 press tour has kicked off, and we've already had some crazy moments between Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Right now,
I don't
they're
know who
trending,
this
but
dude
for
is, by
all
the
the
way.
wrong reasons. Because
I just saw
some
a
people
TikTok
feel like
about
their
it.
relationship is a little bit obsessive. Like, look at this clip where Cynthia wanted
I
to
don't know why
lunge and
people
help
care.
Ariana Grande open her
It
water
was
bottle
good,
that she was
chaotic.
clearly
Thank you.
struggling to open.
It was one of the first things I really worked on when landing in London. And I had never danced that much, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had, and I really wanted to. And
it always seems like Ariana Grande needs a little bit of help with things, and Cynthia is right there. One person said, "I can't stand that she keeps
This is
tabs
another
on
of this 1
everything that
million
she's
plus
doing. This
YouTubers
girl's
I've never heard of.
unbearable." I don't
I
understand why
don't
so
know
many
who
people
this dude
seem
is.
to
I don't
weirdly
watch
hate
drama
them.
stuff
These two
anymore.
are so cute.
I saw
agree.
the TikTok
Look
and
at
I
her
was like,
being
damn.
so sweet and ready to help. Y'all seem so afraid of super considerate and
Oh my
sensitive
god,
humans.
Darius,
I
be
think
a
it
little
says a lot
nice.
more
Be a
about
little
you than
nice.
them when you are all cruel. Listen,
Yeah, at
and
least
what
a
if
little
Ariana is
nice.
suffering from some degenerative disease that only Cynthia knows about?
This is what I
And
wanted
that's
to
why
talk
she's
about.
like this and behaves like this. And
But
here
then
we
they're
are,
both
bad-mouthing the poor woman. Let's take a look at another clip where Cynthia is visibly shaken
People are
by
like, is it a
Mark, this guy who was a
Chadwick
part of the film,
Boseman
grabbing
moment?
Ariana Grande's wrist.
Today we get to do Popular. Can you believe that we're doing Popular? It's gonna be so great. That joy he wanted to infuse in every frame. Here is the film with all the tears.
And then the memes are so freaking rude. It's rude.
Evil. Cynthia does not look like that. Whoever made this is evil. This person tweeted, "Okay, is Ariana Grande actually okay? She looks so confused and scared in this clip. What is going on here?" Somebody said that Ariana looks like she's completely bewitched. Is anyone else tired of seeing them both? That's way too much media rounds for
I know,
a
guys. I know
mediocre
I'm talking
movie.
about the
Well,
drama.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'll save my
I feel so bad
review of
doing
it for that.
this.
Somebody said, "Notice how
But it's so
Ariana was
important.
laughing until Cynthia grabbed her arm, and then she realized that she had to act traumatized." Now, I think that Cynthia is just trying to be helpful, and it seems like Ariana appreciates her help. In this clip, you guys can see that after the attack in
she
Singapore,
knows
they were
something.
leaving the building, and Ariana Grande was actually struggling with her dress, and Cynthia stepped in to help her out. There was another instance where
Never
Ariana Grande
know
was
what's
trying to get
going
onto
on.
stage, but her dress was too heavy for herself, and Cynthia, towards the end, comes in to go and help her and escort her onto the stage.
Why people hate them? Because they think that they're promoting eating disorders.
Going through anything.
That's why.
I don't know.
Or is it just a lesbian
Maybe
alert?
Cynthia does know.
I don't
because
know.
these two are so close, I think
People
people
are
are
really
paying attention
obsessed.
to every single detail. And it makes sense because last year there were so many crazy moments where we couldn't tell if their relationship seemed real or not.
Even through this press tour, something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know.
It's a bit gay baiting
She's getting the
crossed with
fixing itch
attention seeking,
that
I
Cynthia
feel.
Erivo gets.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
you.
I've been doing a lot of digging.
Biggest pinch me moment for each of you on
And
the set.
Ariana
Was it the day you
Grande
arrived out on the
has
set or
had
some
other
special
women
moment
that
that
she's
happened
been really
during the
close to
filming
like
of this for
this.
each of you? What was the biggest pinch me?
Now, that was a throwback clip from last year, but I want to react to this next one where these two were asked about their auras. We talked about this on the Let's Get Into It podcast, but we need to talk about it here.
I also think it's a bit of baiting too.
That's a great question to ask.
If you had to describe each other's aura, what color would it
Inspector
be?
Posey.
That's a nice question.
I've been digging into this. I like
me?
this takes me back to
Oh, thank you.
And like also,
like Anna Tumblr era.
I think there's also
And Ariana Grande has always been
That's very
really
good. I
like
see like
platformed
like
in
a
that area.
ciel
You guys
blue,
don't know about it, but I'll explain in a minute.
like aqua.
No,
And
no.
like-
moved by that response.
So specific, isn't it?
It's not that I have to find out if they're gay or not, because I don't really care about that part or their relationship. Like, what I'm interested in. Sorry, I'm a little gross. Ugh. But what I'm really interested in is why everyone is so obsessed with them, which is why I started doing research and I was like, what's going on with them? I know, chaotic, I do need to drink more water.
Sorry, it's very specific and
I have to understand because they're annoying and strange.
Orange.
That is
Thank you so
true.
much. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yours is pink.
It's lovely. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is actually.
We love you very much.
There's a reason why Hollywood stars always seem to walk away from scandals untouched. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Most regular
What the
people,
heck?
including me, don't have a legal army behind them.
Okay.
And if you're injured in an accident,
I think people have such a
I don't
strong
care
reaction
about
to these
that.
press clips, not because of just Ariana and Cynthia, but also just Ariana's new persona. I saw this viral clip of old Ariana Grande talking to new Ariana
This is
Grande,
also why
and
people are
the
really
difference
invested in it
between
too.
their voices. There's a third clip also included in this montage.
You're stealing
It's
his content.
really
You really
incredible.
should
You
show his
guys need
ads.
to take a look.
Bro,
Do you know where all of your
chill.
awards are right now?
I send the link and everything.
Where are they?
You shouldn't
important.
say
And
that.
I don't
give him
support
don't
the
give him any
company, so I'm not
ideas.
going to show it.
Is hosting an awards show the worst possible gig?
I just want to sing. I want to be there. I want to hit my mark, do my choreo, like feel good in it.
Have you ever considered
Yeah.
phoning it in and lip syncing?
I'm good, man.
I think it has to do with the fact that they're too skinny, like in a very worrying way, especially on Ariana. True. A lot of it is the skinny stuff. But do you see how much she's like changed? Oh my gosh, if you've
Will
done
you stay on the
theater,
13th floor?
you know that this is really common in performances.
The universe
People
has a
change
plan.
their entire
Always.
personalities depending on
It's a
what
really
show they're working
gnarly
on
plan. But
or what
nonetheless,
project they're
it
working
still has a
on.
plan.
Do you know what my
And she
astrology
does
chart
like
is?
similar
That's the
stuff.
spaciest shit I ever said.
Is the Illuminati real?
No, this was actually like a huge debate.
So they're gonna hear this and they're gonna freak out. Like if you put them names, it's gonna be a thing.
Do you know?
I had to pretend that they didn't exist.
And
for a
we've
long
met
time,
people
so.
from
If
theater.
I'm
This
honest,
isn't
I don't
theater
wanna
related,
see.
it's American
Do you believe in
theater
aliens?
related.
Nah.
That is true.
Are you
It's
a
more
good
common
nature
in
of
America
No matter
too.
how good you think somebody has it, everybody feels that. You know?
Because, you know, we see it in each other.
We trust you.
I think it's just, something that you listen to it and you feel it and it's there and it's
It is
something
very,
we all
very
feel
American
sometimes.
theater
It
coded.
is so weird to see like the old Ariana Grande talking to the new Ariana Grande, and then I feel like her real voice
But
was
people
the
do
clip where she
change,
had the
though.
darkest hair, and I've never heard
She
that
looks
voice
so
come
fake
from her
now.
before.
No, this
Fillers
was actually like a huge
and
debate.
Maybe like more of like a
lots of
victorious
weight
kind
loss.
of time, if anything. Maybe when she was on Sam
I
and
am out.
Cat. As you guys know, Ariana Grande went through this attack in Singapore, and
Not
this
his
guy was
tan, too.
actually arrested and sentenced to
Does he
jail
get those mad
for
eyes
this.
from doing his
We
eyebrows
did do a
and
deep dive
mascara?
on him. His name's
I don't know.
Johnson
He has
Wen. You
like
guys
really
can go
good
and check
eyes
that out.
though.
But it turns out that he has been
They're very
sentenced to
piercing.
9
They're like,
days in jail, and he has to pay $2,000
I
in
like them.
fines. Which I feel like the 9 days is not long enough because he's dangerous. He's clearly going to do this again. He's
Maybe
done
he
this
wears
so
makeup.
many
I don't
different
know.
times. If you guys have seen my video, we go through many different examples
Yeah,
of
that's like a
him
whole thing
disrupting
too.
celebrities and sports events, the Olympics, everything. But Cynthia did respond to this in her own way.
It's also
Let's go ahead and take
he
a
has
look
like
at
a
what she had to
choice of a
say about
hairstyle too.
Johnson.
And I am so glad that in order to do it, I had to look into the eyes of this person beside me.
Yeah, does he just have good eyes, or is it this a bit of help? It wouldn't surprise me if he has
shit.
Botox or
We have
something.
come through some stuff in our lives,
I want Botox.
in our daily workings.
Mainly because I
Even
get
this last week,
migraines.
let's be honest. For fuck's sakes, we've had to really deal with some stuff. And
Yeah,
this
his eyebrows
movie
move a lot
has
though,
allowed
so
us
he might not
to
have
really
Botox. Oh, and he has
grow
like the
as people,
definitely no
as friends,
Botox here.
as
Yeah,
sisters,
yeah,
as
yeah,
artists,
Darius.
as actresses.
I like being
Beyond
expressive.
the
I'm a very
dresses
overly expressive
and
person.
makeup, really good heart work. That is the thing that is,
Lie to
that is
yourself,
special
not
about this
It's
piece.
true.
And I miss
I have a headache
being
right
in
now,
this group
yo.
of people,
That's why I've been feeling
this
like shit the past
constantly.
couple of
Because
days.
you don't get a group of people
You just deal with
this
it, because
close
too much
often on
ibuprofen
set.
gives you liver
You
damage.
don't earn family like this often.
Because I do this.
You have
I
a
scrunch
fucking lucky thing
and I have a lot of
to be
tension.
part of.
This person wrote Ariana
Camera
tearing up.
pause. Chaotic says, yes, working as an actor is something you have to be cautious about. Some actors get too much into character and lose sense of themselves or put them in worrying situations. Look at Heath Ledger doing Joke was really bad for him, and Christian Bale, his body goes through a lot of drastic changes to play character. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's true, it's true. A lot of people will do anything. And people who are like the everyday person who don't go that far, go into those extremes, they romanticize it a lot, even though it puts your body in a lot of distress. Sometimes people will only get positions or roles if they commit to doing that. And that's even at like the lower level. Like some of the shows that I've seen like backstage and everything, and I've talked to some of the actors and stuff, they actually have to like maintain a certain weight and be able to like, you know, have a certain aesthetic and look for the duration of their contract. So they can't dye their hair any different colors, they can't do anything crazy like online and that sort of thing. It's very interesting.
And crying when Cynthia
And I
mentions the
wonder, I wonder if Ariana Grande and Cynthia have a similar contract with the Wicked production company or whatever. I don't know if it's like what company it is, but they may have a contract that they can't change their aesthetic or their looks, or they have to look more of a certain way while they're going through the press tours and until everything's over.
incident at Singapore. Oh, F that weirdo. Somebody else said we're not going to forget. Hashtag Brazil.
Oh,
my gosh, you guys
shit.
are still ragging on Ariana Grande missing the premiere
What
in
about
Brazil. Somebody else said, I feel awful for her, Ariana. Somebody said, that's a lot of curse words at a press junket
We
for
talking
a
about
family
Bond?
musical.
Make a
I'm
Bond.
so effing obsessed with Cynthia. F that weirdo. Now, it looks like our press viral moments,
I don't
the
know.
tour that they've been doing, they're going to come to an end now. Cynthia has announced that she's lost her voice and will not be doing interviews at the Wicked for Good premiere
Oh,
in
this
New York.
caused a lot of
And Ariana
scandal
Grande will
too.
also be skipping interviews in solidarity. Solidarity. It's
They're
funny.
like, why
I mean,
solidarity?
sweet, I guess. Somebody said the press tour is cursed. They are holding space for each other. Well, I guess they are. Birds of a feather, we should stick together. Somebody else said, wait,
I
what?
love this photo too. She's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And look at her delts. Awesome.
I love
awesome
this
stuff
picture
right
of
there.
Cynthia. I needed to use this in like a thumbnail or something because this look is like the death stare. Somebody questioned Cynthia lost her voice, so Ariana can't be interviewed. And solidarity is funny
Solidarity for
because
being
she's
sick.
just trying not to do these interviews without her bestie. Somebody else said that J-Lo had volunteered to sing on their behalf. Oh, hell no. As far as Ariana Grande goes, she will be hosting SNL and the musical guest will be Cher. She also has recently shared a
I
little
love
bit of
Cher.
news about her feature in American
Oh,
Horror
Cher.
Story, stating that pretty much it won't be a big part.
She is. She can be that way. Yeah. But she's a really
I don't know
good
if she's
girl.
had a lot of
She is,
fillers.
Yeah.
Could you be a ball buster?
Could what?
She did
you
talk
be a
about how
ball
she got everything dissolved.
Technically is. Does that mean?
You talk.
Bro.
Yeah, well, I'm Italian, you know.
That's true.
So
That's true.
technically it's in my blood.
Well, here's the thing. Like, that's why I'm wondering, do they have a contract agreement that they have to be a lot closer because of how much press it got during the first bout of Wicked? Like, there's a lot of layers to it. So, obviously, I'm not super behind the scenes with, like, Hollywood or anything like that. I know a lot more about the musical theater scene than I do anything else. But there are lots of contracts where you have to do that. Talk me through the lawyers drafting that contract, Posey. I haven't had to deal with that personally, so I wouldn't know. I know you're being sarcastic, but no, they do make it so that like certain people they have to like do like outings together. I don't know if that's like an actual written thing or if that's kind of like the dynamic is what's making them so popular. So maybe the production team is like, you guys shouldn't do it unless it's together. Otherwise, people are going to be very speculative about stuff that we don't want them to speculate on. Because right now, Ariana Grande and Cynthia are creating a ton of press just because they have the relationship dynamic that they do. People aren't paying attention to the other cast members, they're paying attention to these two because of their dynamic. And they might actually be playing it up a lot more for the camera because that's what production wants them to do. They're like, hey, this is selling us a lot more product, like tickets, that sort of thing. So when you guys are solo, people don't really like it. So you guys have to do it together. So that might not even be like her choice. They know exactly what they're doing. Their self-absorption and indulgence of each other is work like 20 M in marketing. Yeah. It's worth a lot of money too. Like if they were not having this dynamic, it would not be as popular as it is. You know, like popular. But anyways, it really wouldn't. which is why I wanted to talk about it. Now, their whole weight, how they both drastically lost weight and everything, that could be coincidental, because they haven't really spoken a lot if they actually like hang out solo and that sort of thing. People love this musical for some reason, bro. It had a chokehold in the 2010s. Like, huge. Everybody loved it. Tommy says, I have to stand up and give him the gay salute, bro. Elle says, I wish we as a society would stop making stupid people famous. Yeah. You only like Les Mis? Huh. One day more. I like Les Mis too. When they had the live action, I was like, oh my god, okay, Anne Hathaway, like, you're actually gonna shave your head. No bald cap here. Commit. I like Les Mis because it's incredibly depressing. Bruh. Oh my gosh. It is very depressing.
My Nona was a ball buster.
All for a loaf of bread, you know?
Oh, rest in peace to Noah.
It's like the dude decided to not enact revenge, so the other guy just killed himself. That's like half the plot of Les Mis. I mean, obviously the war and everything too, but you know. Yeah, people do die. It is a lot more real.
Ariana Grande's grandmother. I love how in that
Yeah.
clip at the end she got this
There's
like Italian
lots of
accent. and
like I think Cynthia was in The Color Purple too, which that was really controversial, because that was in like 2013, 2015-ish time period. She was in like a lot of The Color Purple stuff. Or that's when she got like awards for it. Oh, was she not casted in it? Oh, she wasn't in the film adaptation. But yeah, people were not super excited about it in the community, because she's not actually like American. I think she's from Nigeria, maybe? I'm not sure. But since she doesn't have African American heritage, a lot of people thought that she shouldn't have the role. It was really controversial. Is Sloan a real name? It's kind of pejorative here. I don't know. We get a break to see this, Chelsea. What the fuck is this one? We're almost done. Wait, what is this? Okay. Okay, we'll watch this. What is happening? Why are they so buff? They got big titties too. Look at them titties. Why are they danced out like little Ken dolls? No, G.I. Joe, you know? Look at that. Okay, I like that one. That was a vibe. We're almost done though. That's an army that knows their enemies are working to get sexier.
Or, like, fake chewing gum. Like, she really
Okay,
is an
that's
actress.
fair.
She just tapped right into that character.
Well, I'm Italian, you know.
That's true.
So
That's true.
technically it's in my blood. You know.
But I want to hear what you guys
I'm
think of the
Italian.
movie promo tour. If you guys, well, I don't think anyone's seen the film, right?
I didn't know
Besides
she was
early
Italian,
premieres.
actually.
So I want to know what you guys think when we get around to it. I'm sure we'll talk about like a movie review or something. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Okay. Oh man, we're getting exposed. If that was all you did in the army, I'd join up. What, get sexy and buff? Damn. We fall for the propaganda so fast. Holy shit. Anyways, I just felt like I should touch on that because I have a lot more background in theater productions. I've met people that are like in Broadway productions, shows. They've done like lots of directing and everything. And that was like, this is up my alley. The whole ED thing that they have going on is a whole nother discussion. And I don't even know how to touch on that because that's like, ooh, they're not doing really good. Yeah, get sexy, then have parade showing it off. That's just a pride parade, you know? With less colors. It says, I mean, her name makes it pretty clear that she has some Romance ancestry, so Italian makes sense. Yeah, that's true. I always thought she had, like, more Spanish ancestry, but Because I think she speaks Spanish. Wait, hold up. Let me check. I know so much about this shit because everyone talks to me about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to the root of it. It makes me feel bad. I think Jenna Ortega has an interview somewhere talking about Anya Taylor-Joy being more Latina than her and getting stressed about it. Oh my god. Anya Taylor-Joy is a really good actress. Depending on the movie. Let's see. Fuck, I got distracted. Oh yeah. Does Ariana Grande speak Spanish? She speaks Spanish, so she's not fluent. Okay, that's what I thought. Because I've seen interviews of her, like, speaking Spanish. And Jenna is American, so she can only speak English. Yeah. She's also fluent in Spanish, because she's half RG, half English, yeah. What does RG mean? RG mean? Or what? What? I don't know what I said there. Yeah. Tommy says, that's the right way to win a war. Let's go occupy Ethiopia. Bro, chill. I don't know. But I'm like obviously on like workout, TikTok, and that sort of thing too. Because I have like my workout account and everything. I mainly just like look up different workouts and like food. Yeah, RG is Argentinian. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, good. And everybody is talking about Ariana Grande and how a lot of people are really wanting to lose a ton of weight. Pilates culture right now is insane. And I've talked about how I do like Pilates and I do it at home. I do mat Pilates. It is pretty intense and it's really fun. But some people straight up just like do not eat. Pilates culture right now is insane. You don't get it. People are literally like, you work out. Almost everyone here has worked out, has like an athletic background. If not, you've been here enough to actually understand what I'm saying. Holy shit. People in the Pilates community and fitness influencers are not, it does sound ironic and funny. I know. But they're not going through phases where they're trying to bulk up their weight again. They just stay super lean all the time and they actually face like horrible health consequences because of it. And it's, yes, the Pilates community, yo, you don't even know how deep it is. It's so deep. Dude, we can watch a video on it. I have a video that I can like queue up right now. Would you like to learn? Yeah, but I have to keep away from our history together was not that good. Yeah. Why do you have that on hand? Because I do Pilates and I am afraid to talk about it online because of the stigma. And any time that I've like tried to post any like Pilates related content, oh my god, people are like, oh, you're not skinny enough to do Pilates. You need to like go on like a GLP-1 and that sort of thing. And I was like, never again. Never again. Because people are so rude about it. Tommy, Egypt's actual golden age was when the British was like, Darius! Hey, yo, show us then? Okay. Alright, let's go. Alright. She's gonna show up. I actually have to find the YouTuber first. Aha! Mina Lee. Okay, wait, look. Okay. It's a long one. We don't have to watch the whole thing. But it is really, really interesting. And she is one of my absolute favorite video essayists. And it was, honestly, if we could watch the whole thing, I would. If you want to, we can watch the whole thing. I will abandon everything else that I wanted to talk about today, and we'll watch it all. Watch this quickly, bruh. Okay. Oh my god, you're just like, we'll convert her into loving football. She must love football. Ah, wrong one. Wrong link. Where is it? Okay, we'll watch the goal. We'll watch it together. Oh, the heart! Love it. That was actually really clean. That keeper fucked that one. Are you serious? That one was really good too. Is this all the same dude? His foot is higher than the crossbar. Damn. Same game. Bro, oh, look at that kitty tap. Oh, that was so clean. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, Darius, you'll be proud of me. I ran 3 days this week. Wait, that's it. You have to stand up and give him the salute. Bro. Maybe later, man. Okay. Did I send the link? Okay, I should probably pin this if we're gonna watch it. Anyways, stand for MCT right now. I don't know this man. I don't know him. I ain't standing for him if I don't know him.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
I am okay with a Squarespace sponsorship, by the way.
Online. Hello, my beautiful doves. My name is Mina, and once again, I was eaten alive online.
She's so
relatively
cute
recently.
too. I love her.
It's actually not a big deal. It's not. No one online can hurt me in the same way that my Harry Potter roleplay group did when they kicked me out for disappearing for 2 weeks to study for the ACT. So, yeah, I guess you can say I'm pretty resilient now.
She's so cute.
I have to do this. I have to kill you.
Okay, so I guess I should elaborate.
I know, she's iconic,
Not about the
Darius.
Harry Potter roleplay group. Earlier this
I
year,
love
I
her.
wrote an ins and outs list and posted it onto my Instagram stories, which I will
I'm
also
not a
share
fan
on
of a
screen
lot of
with you
people,
all
but I
here.
am like a
As
fan of
disclaimer,
hers.
Ins and outs lists
She's
are
so
an
funny.
unserious meme format that people engage with every new year. But putting Pilates, and to a lesser extent, iced coffee on my personal outs list still made a number of people very upset in my DMs. So let me state for the record, the reason I put Pilates on my outs list is because, one, I personally do not like Pilates. I have a lot of friends who love Pilates, and that's amazing for them, but
I love Pilates.
I just prefer higher intensity workouts. And two, because one of my favorite reads of 2024 that I haven't been able to get out of my head since reading it was Mikala Jameson's essay, The Long Con of Pilates, that she published in her newsletter, Body Type.
I still like
In
both
the
though.
essay, Macaulay discusses the impact of Pilates culture and not the exercise itself, to be clear.
GLP
and
ones
I'll
are
read you her
in,
opening
and
paragraph.
running.
I wrote in 2022 about she does Pilates as cultural shorthand for hot women that had shown up in television juggernauts Abbott Elementary and Love is Blind.
It's amazing. Even Mondays. She take Pilates? I don't know.
Not long after Lori Harvey credited Pilates for her long, lean muscles at the Met Gala.
Pilates changed my life.
This isn't exactly new in pop culture. Back in 2002, it appeared in Sex and the City when Samantha attributed her wow-worthy body to the practice.
Wow.
Pilates.
Pilates culture, which has become ever more impactful, as seen by the number of Google searches for Pilates nearly tripling from January 22 to 2024, champions this myth
So
that the exercise can get you a slender, yet toned body, no matter your genetics. I myself have definitely noticed a lot of interest in Pilates over the years among my friends, among people that I talk to. I think it would just be cool to talk about because at the same time, there's a lot of misinformation. There are a lot of myths.
It really
myths,
does depend
and
on if
the
you add
deeper
weights
that I
to
dove
it.
into this research,
So I normally do
the more
Pilates
interesting the
with
subject
weights,
became to me. So
like
today
leg
let's talk
weights
about
and
Pilates,
upper body
the
weights and
history
stuff
of
like
women's
that,
fitness,
which
and
makes
the
it a
long-standing
lot
preference
harder.
of the long, lean body.
And then
over a
eventually, I'm just gonna get
muscular body.
I do Pilates.
a lot higher weight stuff. It's fun.
And everywhere you look, there's Pilates.
Come with us to Pilates.
Come with me to my morning Pilates class.
Come with me to my Pilates class.
This program has been designed to give you a total workout that you can adapt to your own level of fitness.
There's Reformer and Mat Pilates, and they're two different
Thank you,
things.
Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. If you've been wanting to launch a website, but HTML and CSS and tech in general stresses you out, Squarespace is a really accessible, easy to use. Okay, let's first define Pilates. Not the culture, but the exercise. The Pilates method of body
This is the
conditioning was
important
first
part.
developed by Joseph Pilates during World War I. Pilates, the man, not the culture nor the exercise,
His
was a
nipples are
professional
staring.
boxer and circus performer from Germany. He was living in England at the time of World
Look
War
at
I,
that
and as a
stance,
result
yo.
was labeled an enemy alien and sent to an internment camp with all
It
other
is kind
German
of like
expats.
calisthenics,
At
but
the internment camp, Pilates organized activities among his fellow internees and led self-defense courses and group exercises. Then in 1915, he was transferred to the largest internment camp for German expats known as Knockelo on the Isle of Man, and he was inspired by local stray cats there and further developed his exercise method to include natural stretching techniques that mirrored the animal's movement. Also at Knockelo, he worked with sick or injured internees, which would become his primary inspiration for developing apparatus exercises. You probably know of these as reformer exercises. Pilates initially called his method contrology, and in his book Return to Life, he explained it as such.
It is true.
Contrology develops the body uniformly, corrects
can
wrong
mock what I
postures,
want.
restores physical vitality, invigorates the mind,
But you were
and
right though,
elevates the
Darius.
spirit, and also gives you the arms of Miley Cyrus. Wait, he didn't write that. So he continued
I've
refining
studied
and
her
enhancing
workout
his system
regimen.
up until his death in
It
1967.
is not
In total, the Pilates system
basic
of body
Pilates,
conditioning
though.
contains over
She does
500
weights,
stretching
too.
and strengthening exercises. Exercise specialist and journalist Anna Maltby has a newsletter called How to Move, and in her essay on Pilates, she explains that the Pilates method
You're
helps
right,
you build
Darius.
core strength, inner and outer
How many
thigh
people have
strength,
you fought?
hip strength, flexibility, and mobility. She notes that it's a great method to support posture, improve upper back strength and scapular stability, and build a stronger mind-body connection. However, she also writes that Pilates is not a cardiovascular workout and does
That's
not
true.
build muscle mass. It doesn't increase agility, speed, or power, and is unlikely to change your body composition. So, how
So
did Pilates
Pilates
become
are
glorified
the
as
things
the
that my body
be-all,
can't do.
end-all
What do you
exercise?
mean?
While Joseph Pilates is undoubtedly the originator
It's
of
good
Pilates,
for me
I think
because
the
I'm
way that it is
hypermobile.
taught and revered today has much to do with the 1970s and 80s women's fitness
So it
movement.
teaches me like
let's
dynamic
crack over the
strength.
history book again.
And then I lift weights too a little bit, and then I do I run out for my cardio.
Stay fit is a recurring theme in our lives. Economic, personal, and social success is often measured
That's
by
true,
physical
Darius.
attractiveness and sports ability.
In the 1970s, we started to see a major fitness boom for all genders, in part because there was a growing awareness about how good health can improve and extend your life, as well
But this
as
goes back
increased
way,
fears of
way
obesity
farther,
and heart
even to like the
disease.
Victorian,
History
like Gilded
professor
Age
Mark
too.
Stern writes that the shift to less physical work in the latter half of the 20th century also played a role. He quotes a journalist who wrote in 1978, "We men and women of the 20th century are probably the only beings in the long history of mankind who have found it necessary to intentionally seek out forms of exercise to keep ourselves fit." With that said, women still played an important role in expanding the fitness movement. Some writers estimated
honestly,
that
it's
60
really good
to
for you.
65% of the fitness movement was represented by women, which ultimately did shape the industry at large. Reasons for women
Now
joining
it's
the
seen
fitness
as more
movement in droves can
masculine,
be pinned down to a number
which
of
is
things,
crazy.
including rising feminist ideology, Title IX leading to increased
She's
female
actually
participation in sports,
mentioning it. Yes.
and the rise of women in the workplace. With new financial independence, women had more money to
Oh yeah,
spend
it's a
on
hobby.
not
It's
just
really
fitness, but
Jesus.
also on clothes.
No, this
and
is really
makeup,
good for
which of course
flexibility
added
too.
to their overall desire to look better. One pioneer of women's fitness was Judy Shepard Missett. Judy with an I, a spelling choice she
Also,
made
a lot
before
of
her
these
freshman year of
people-
college to seem sexier and more
Some
sophisticated.
people were on a lot of
In
stimulants
1962,
too
Judy
at
left
this
her
time.
small town Iowa home to head to Northwestern University, where she launched a professional dancing career while majoring in speech. However, after she had her daughter in 1968, she wanted more work stability that a career in dancing just couldn't give her. In the summer of 1969, she started to teach a Saturday morning class called Jazz Dance for Adult Beginners. She loved teaching, but her retention rate was actually quite low, a 90% dropout rate. Yikes. When she asked people why they weren't returning to her class, they told her it was just too hard. One of them said, "I just want to look good for my high school reunion this fall." Another student said, "You're teaching like we're going on to become professional dancers, but really we just want to look like professional dancers." Judy realized that these women didn't want to learn the art of dance. They wanted to exercise. She started posting flyers for a new adult class called Jazz Dance for Fun and Fitness. She changed the format to one with no choreography.
From her
The students
perspective,
would
of course.
instead follow her lead as she went through basic steps
I just
in
want
real
to get to
time.
shave my
The
old
music was top 40s, and throughout the class, she would shout positive affirmations like, "Looking good, ladies."
Come on, baby!
Then in 1972, Judy's family relocated to San Diego, where she continued to teach classes, allegedly so frequently that she almost permanently lost her voice.
Look at that outfit, though.
Many of the women in these classes were military wives who became heartbroken when their husbands were eventually reassigned and they could no longer attend Judy's classes. So Judy created an official certification program, then a franchise system under the name Jazzercise. By 1984, Jazzercise was the second biggest franchise company in the United States, just behind Domino's Pizza.
So funny.
Judy also essentially originated the boutique fitness franchise model, a predecessor to Pure Barre and Soul Cycle that we have today.
Keep going, and
look at her go.
Over the course of her career, Judy received thousands of letters from women who thanked her for Jazzercise, saying it not only got them in better shape, but in some cases, it empowered them to leave their abusive husbands, demand raises at work, and generally find joy in their bodies and lives. The Jazzercise franchise also gave women employment opportunities, with over 90% of franchises having begun as students. However, similar to modern Pilates culture critics, Jazzercise critics complained about how the exercise perpetuated harmful beauty ideals. One woman told The Atlantic, "It was the first time I realized I was supposed to work on my body, to look how I don't naturally." Across the pond, Lottie Burke, a Jewish German dancer who fled Nazi Germany, started developing her own exercise method while living in England in the 1950s. Burke was a forerunner of the sexual revolution and wanted to help women improve their sex lives, as well as
There's a lot
their
of
bodies.
class undertones
The
with
method,
it too.
known first as the Lottie Burke
very
method, is known
class-focused.
more popular today as bar. Like Judy, Lottie also intended to open a dance studio, not for dancers, but for women who wanted to look like dancers. And she touted to interviewers, actually, that her exercises only failed to transform women's bodies if they were lazy. She said, "Have you ever seen a flabby dancer? Of course not. They are firm all over, and that is what I want to offer women." So yes, Jazzercise and bar did in some way pressure women to look a certain way. But this isn't new because there's been a long-standing link between cosmetic and fitness transformations. After all, students were coming up to Judy and asking her how to achieve a certain body standard before she even came up with Jazzercise. As journalist Danielle Friedman explains it, prior to the 1970s fitness boom, women were often told to behave like women and perform weakness for men. And so any early women's fitness advocate faced the challenge of coming up with ways to encourage women to become stronger.
One of the first, Bonnie Pruden, she was one of the earliest TV fitness gurus, and one of the first to really encourage women to embark on movement.
Look at her go. She's like,
strong. She realized that selling strength for strength's sake at that time to women would have never gone over. And so she pretty savvily packaged exercise.
She doesn't make any arguments about that.
She liked to say, under every curve, there's a muscle. No muscle,
She's
no
really
curve.
progressive.
And so, she recognized that in order for it to be acceptable, she would have to sort of disguise it as something else. But she really unleashed, what later became something of a monster.
Even though I'm mostly focusing on women's bodies in this issue, I do want to add that working out for aesthetic goals was all-encompassing. As an example, the bodybuilding industry rapidly grew throughout the 70s and 80s. In 1975, the New York Times had reported a 5-fold increase in turnouts at bodybuilding events and the increased consumption of bodybuilding supplements and products.
What?
The days of colorful spandex may be behind us, but we still have women-dominated fitness studios today. They just seem to be more wrapped up in wellness culture.
Be as beautiful as the golden flakes of dust.
Darius, they were all on cocaine.
Yes, absolutely. Without a doubt.
They can only do the workouts because they were on
sage,
speed.
meditation. These have all been integrated in many of these group
That's why
fitness
they're all
classes.
so skinny.
Danielle Friedman correlates these fitness offerings with the rise of yoga in the 90s, which paved the way for small, simple, intimate spaces.
Yoga's like
Historian Natalia Melman-Petruzella
Pure
connects the
cocaine.
wellness shift with the aftermath of 9/11.
No,
As an example, she tells the origin story of
can't
wellness
kill
brand
you.
Exhale in her book Fit Nation. Days before the 9/11 terrorist attack,
US
the brand's
TVs.
founder, Annbeth Eschbach, was supposed to have investor meetings, but due to the tragic events, she was sure that her meetings wouldn't get
Knock,
rescheduled
knock,
and that
AIDS
no
crisis.
one would want to invest in a New York City-based wellness business. But to her surprise, investors bet that Exhale would be
Rent.
the salve a certain sort of consumer
Rent
would
is
crave
due.
in such a bewildering, disturbing moment. Other wellness
Oh, it's a
adjacent fitness
musical, by the
classes
way,
sprung
about
up around
AIDS.
the same time. Intensati, a class that combined positive vocal affirmations and moves inspired by yoga, dance, and martial arts, launched in 2002.
I am powerful beyond measure. Embody it. Awaken it.
And Soul Cycle opened its first candlelit
I don't think
studio
I could
in
do that
2006.
seriously.
Petruzella writes, what
Yeah,
they were
it's because
doing,
they
in
don't have
Eschbach's
anything
words,
to numb
was
it
taking a
out.
concept of mind-body wellness that had been associated with a groovy granola,
Put in
hairy
your
armpits
headphones.
aesthetic and
Work out
repackaged
alone.
it as a luxurious and efficient experience. When the streets, subways, and schools felt unsafe, inner peace was a form of security many deemed worth the expense, especially if it was thought to simultaneously cultivate outer beauty.
Working out with
I
someone
once
complaining
took a
all the
woo-woo
time just
fitness
makes me so
class, and it was
annoyed.
called simply
I'm just like,
the
shut
class.
up. I don't want to talk to
And,
you about how hard
I
it is.
actually really
You chose
liked
to
it,
do
but
this.
it was too far of a commute from my apartment in Brooklyn, so I didn't go too often. But every time I went, I actually really enjoyed the experience.
It
was
fun.
very meditative and cathartic because the instructors would encourage you to scream and cry as much as you want. But at the same time, the workout was still very physically demanding. I remember we had to do burpees for like the entire duration of Brandi Carlile's song, The Story. I get the appeal of doing a strenuous workout while also tapping into this sort of emotional, spiritual energy is what I'm trying to say. It is also really nice to
I agree
scream and
with you
cry
there,
with a bunch
Darius.
of other women too. Like taking
I
that
would
class
not
reminded
do
me of
this,
that one
though.
scene in Midsummer where Florence Pugh is screaming with a bunch of those girls in the cult.
I don't like working out with other people.
Your voice.
Unless
How do
it's
you
like
let it be
lifting.
heard?
The class is like open to all genders, by the way, and this is also
Or
not
like a
sponsored by
team
them.
thing, you know.
But,
If people are
unsurprisingly,
complaining
like,
the
most of the
whole
people in the class
practice
were
or the
women.
whole like
Stanford psychologist Kelly
session,
McGonigal explained that there is something emotionally nurturing about
I
group
just
classes
tone
in
them
general.
out.
She wrote in her book,
I
The
just
Joy of
can't do
Movement,
it.
that when we move in sync with other people, we experience
Yeah,
a kind
Darius,
of
that's
collective
different, though.
joy.
Like,
she explains, your understanding of the part of the world that
working out with
belongs
someone
to you
who's just like,
expands.
oh, I hate this. Like,
feeling
I
can
don't think I can
translate
do
into
this.
both
It's so horrible. And
self-confidence
it's
and
they
social
never
ease.
say a single
You can
thing
walk away from a group
positive. I
exercise
can't
with
do
an
it.
expanded sense of belonging and an embodied
It
knowing
stresses
that
me
you have
out,
the right to
man.
take up space in the world. However, with the rising
That's what I'm talking
costs
about.
of these group fitness classes, we have to wonder what kind of belonging
Well, not
we're
everyone
fostering.
can be motivated to go to the gym. That's why they do this.
$100 a month for 4 classes.
100
Do y'all realize how expensive
for
that
4
is?
classes.
To be
25
clear,
a
there
class.
have always been gatekeeping costs associated with fitness and health. The August 1939 Vogue beauty book advocated for sports to improve fitness, including horseback
about
riding, golf,
2 separate
bike
things,
riding,
Darius.
and fencing. All activities
I
that
agree
can only
with
be
you, though.
afforded by the leisure class. To participate, you would need club memberships, specific uniforms, appropriate gear, and time. 40 years later, New York
It is
Magazine reported
fitness,
in
though.
1978, a new class has come among us that defines elitism in an entirely different manner. For this is the time of the physical elite, a class of American men, women, and children who are exercising a little, a moderate amount, or in staggering gulps. They are the upscale people, college educated, those in upper and upper middle class income brackets, professionals, business
is a
people,
privilege to be
the
able to
general
work out,
run
too.
of white collar workers. Jane Fonda's workout classes were intended to be geared
Look at
towards
her hair.
secretaries, but in reality, they cost $5.50 per
Oh,
class
it's so
when
big.
many women were making only $165 a week. And like today, there's always
That's a
been
lot
a
of
push
money.
for fitness-related
then.
consumerism. In 1983, Harper's Bazaar published a 14-page spread, unfortunately titled "Fat to Fabulous" in one
No,
week.
it's like your
where it
diet that
advertised
makes
fitness
more of a
routines
difference.
as well as clothing to wear while doing those routines. One of the pages
That is
reads,
true,
"Your
Darius.
whole attitude towards
Oh, yeah.
exercise gets a lift from great-looking clothes. This bright wisteria blue unitard is an easy, energizing choice. From Danskin in Antron nylon and spandex. Body polish means glowing skin
One
as well
second.
as toned muscles. CHR body polish and concentrate from Ultimate 2 moisturizes, sloughs, and stimulates skin all over." Still though, and maybe it's my
For a lot of people, they don't really understand that your diet is what helps you lose weight, or like put on any type of weight fluctuation. Being in a deficit is what puts you in like a thinner frame or whatever, but eventually you have to fluctuate how much you eat, otherwise you plateau, and that's not really helpful. We could get into the nitty-gritty of like how you burn calories, and that sort of thing. And there's so many different diets, but all of these diets that people go on, whether that be keto, being vegetarian, raw till 4, like whatever crazy diets you can think of, all of them are centered around being in a deficit, a caloric deficit. So certain people, yeah, there is so much rubbish about it online. So then people crash diet where they just stopped eating, and then it can cause like unhealthy eating cycles, and it puts them in a bad position. But the goal, like what doing Pilates or any form of exercise, whether that be running, going to the gym or whatever, that's going to help your lymphatic system. It's going to help your muscular system, your cardiovascular system, and it's going to help you better regulate your hormones. That is a totally different process than how much weight you have on you or not. A lot of people view working out to be something that can put you in a deficit, and you can be on apps like MyFitnessPal or whatever, but when you do all that sort of thing and you enter in your cardio and it puts you in a deficit, it's not as helpful as people think it is. It's always overly marketed, because that's one of the few things that people normally have to pay for. Like you pay for workout classes, you pay for equipment, you pay for workout clothes. But all in all, what matters the most is your diet. And if you buy less food, corporate America isn't making as much money, so it's not as advertisable. Yeah, like diet as in your food not being on a diet. Yeah, exactly, Darius. Yeah. But exercise is not something that really helps people lose weight. And a lot of people, they're so nervous about like going to the gym, getting involved in like any form of like athletic activity, like doing volleyball with your friends or soccer or whatever, like anything that you're picking up, they're afraid of it because they think that they're not like at a certain weight to do it. But the weight comes from how you eat, not necessarily what you do with your body. So honestly, being healthier would mean that you would have a little bit more pudge on you, because then your body has enough fuel consistently to do whatever you do. How much do you lift, Josie? Not as much as I used to. I'm getting back into it though. So, I don't know. I've been really like working on dynamic weightlifting and then upping my weight slowly with time. But yeah. Daria says exercise is mainly good for losing weight because who ran 30 minutes don't waste that on cake. It's just because it's good because it builds discipline. Yeah, I don't even view it as like a disciplinary thing. How many kilograms? Well, when I do mat Pilates or like anything I find online to do that, I use like 10 pounds weights with everything I'm doing. Most of the time, people use like 2-pound weights, if anything. So I'm building up a lot more strength with my endurance. Beforehand, I would actually use like 1 pound, and I slowly worked my way up to that. If I were to start lifting and stuff, I bet I could lift a lot more than I think. I could easily, like, I can lift up my dogs very easily, and they're like 100 plus pounds. So, I don't know. I haven't been to the gym to do like a proper weightlifting routine in a while, but I'm getting back onto it. It's part of my plan, but we're not there yet. Darius says, routine and sticking to one is fantastic. Start Posey. Most of losing weight, etc., is having to make long-term changes. That's true. That's true. That's why I always recommend that people start working out before they start going on a diet. Like, in all of my years of, like, helping people, doing exercise, getting people involved in it, like, in healthy ways and unhealthy ways, because when I was in high school, I did have issues with my eating. I had an eating disorder. So I wasn't giving the best advice to people, but when I would give people advice, I never talked, because I understood I struggled with it. So I would talk about working out and I wouldn't talk about diet with them because I knew that I wasn't going to give them accurate information. Now that I have recovered, it's different for me. Ariel says I lifted 120k kilograms or 120 kilograms. 120k would be insane. Let's see. What about gaining weight? It's hard. It's hard, yeah, because you have to eat a lot more food. That's the harder one. Daria says, I don't know, Tahami. When I was getting into sports properly, they thought muscle slowed you down, and I was already slow, so I focused on cardio mainly. Pilates and other types of, like, workouts like this, kind of like hot yoga and everything, really helps you learn how to, like, have good mobility and strength and prevents you from tearing. So, like, when you go do, like, weightlifting or cardio, you're only really engaging in your muscles in the same repetitive motion over and over. The reason why I implemented mat Pilates into my workout regimen was because I want to be able to do everyday activities with ease. So, like, if I went to the gym and did something and I, like, moved my shoulder in, like, a weird way or whatever, like putting a weight down or something, that's how injuries happen. But if you train your body and you know what your body can do through more dynamic weighted range of motion techniques, then you're a little bit stronger and you're less prone to injury. That's why I highly recommend that people do stuff like this. Even though it's hard, it's just hard in a different way. Ariel says that's like 264 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. Darius says, I never, like, aimed to gain muscle. It just kind of happened naturally. But I'm an endomorph where you gain fat and muscle easily, like Rooney. Yeah, I gain muscle really easily, too. So for me, I think it has a lot to do with, like, how I've done athletics for a long time. Like, I've always been, like, very active. So, I don't know. But you have to be very careful about how you do it. Tommy says, I'm trying to gain weight but building muscles because no matter how much food I eat, I don't get fat at all. Yeah, you just have to, it's mainly like a food thing. Yeah, protein, just eat, like, more calorie-dense foods.
Bias because I'm actually living in this era, but it seems like the fitness industry today has more luxury offerings than ever before. For instance, Jazzercise Studios traditionally offered and still offer on-site babysitting during workout classes. Meanwhile, many new boutique fitness studios today offer unnecessary high-end perks like blowouts. As Petrozello writes for The Atlantic, arguably such choices are designed to safeguard these spaces and justify the prices as temples of self-care, but a lack of childcare also creates yet another obstacle to participating in an exercise culture rightly criticized
You
as
can still
elitist.
get fat if you eat a lot of meat.
You can still join a neighborhood run club or do follow-along YouTube ab workouts from home at no extra cost. But if you want to keep up with your favorite influencers, be prepared to shell out money.
I challenged myself in the new year to try some new workout classes. So let's run through my workouts of the week. Monday, I was on a brand trip, so I didn't really get to work out unless you count ice skating. Tuesday, I got back from said brand trip and I went to an evening class at Physique 57. Wednesday,
$42.
I went to Solid Core together. You guys know I have the monthly unlimited here. I absolutely love it. Thursday, I've been hearing everybody talk about Soto method and I've really been wanting to try it. Friday,
42.
I finally tried Tracy Anderson. I get
75.
it. I get it. I get the hype. I literally will be coming back at least 1 or 2 times a week.
Amanda Wallajona reported
It's
for the
insane.
LA Times in
It's so
2023 that
expensive.
Pilates classes cost around $30 to $40 per.
This is why you do it at home, by the way. These people are the scourge of fitness just read about in the fields. But the thing is a lot of these people, they don't want to put in the time and energy to learn how to plan a workout routine. Like, if you are poor and you want to be fit, you have to learn about, like, what your body can and cannot do. You need to learn about technique. You need to learn about repair time and force yourself to do that, because you don't have the privilege of just paying someone to do that thought process for you. So when I see poor people who are like, not poor, but at least not like this fucking rich, who are able to do all of this, I'm just like, bravo. Bravo. Because it's taken me like at least a decade of like trial and error and extreme like labor and just trying. Like I worked at a gym for years so I could learn about this entire process. I grew up like doing lots of different workouts, exercises, and doing technique. Like you have to be good with your technique. And if you're doing Pilates at home, a lot of people can literally deform their body because they're not doing proper technique. So that's why having an at-home gym, when you haven't had like in-person experience, can really, really harm you because you're more prone to injury. You have to have somebody who can critique your form or coach you through it when you're first learning. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself and you're not going to know why. And you're just going to keep getting injured over and over and over again. And it sucks. But yeah, you do. That's why most people who are inexperienced, they just run. They don't do stuff like Pilates or try to do calisthenics or whatever, because they injure themselves. And then they, like when you injure yourself, you can't work out for a couple weeks. If you run, most people just get like shin splints because they don't have good form. And even then, you can't run for like a month and a half at a time while you heal. So it's like, you have to be really careful with your body. So these people, when you're in a class, because I've like taken classes, you know, that sort of thing when I worked at the gym, I had the free perks and I knew the instructors. So I got to participate in a lot of these classes, and they actually sit there and they come up to you and they're just like, hey, you're doing this form wrong. You need to do it like this. And they like touch you if you consent to it, and they show you what you need to do. But when you're doing it at home, you don't get that. So like having a healthy body is a privilege in that sense. These people, if they tried to do it all on their own, they'd probably be more successful because they have the muscle memory and they've done it before. But at that point, you're already so committed and so like you associate working out with that group dynamic that you just keep doing it that way, even if you don't have to. Not everyone's like Miley Cyrus, who has her own fucking Pilates and weightlifting studio in her house. I wish. But yeah.
While unlimited monthly packages
It
range
can be
from
dangerous.
$300 to $400 per month. Luxury
so
gyms have
expensive.
also popped up, so Equinox now costs around $280 a month, and Collective in Austin, Texas costs $400 a month. One 23-year-old from Tennessee told the Washington Post last year that she was in debt after spending $600 a month out of her $55,000 annual salary on a gym membership, personal trainer, and self-defense classes.
I'm paying $350 a month right now for a gym membership in LA as a broke college student.
It is
the
true,
easiest way to
Darius.
get to the top 1% is
It's
to hang
easier
out
to
with the
win.
top 1%.
That's true.
It just all reminds me of that one cut article that was titled, Meet the People Working 3 Jobs to Afford Erewhon. While cheaper fitness centers exist, Planet Fitness still sells memberships for $15 a month. They're more limited, and as Friedman writes, people who live in low-income, rural, and other marginalized communities have significantly less access to fitness facilities and instruction, despite the fact that these communities are at higher risk of chronic disease and could arguably benefit from exercise the most. Also, I just want to add here that I am someone who will pay more money for nicer fitness stuff because I know myself and I know that I hate working out. Right? Hate is a strong word. I have to really motivate myself to work out. And so, if I'm working out in a space that's nicer and it has these kinds of sauna amenities, then I'm more likely to go. At least that's what I tell myself. And I think that a lot of young women are maybe in the same boat as me, which is why they feel like it's a worthy expense to spend this much money for these services. But it is a problem if you are putting yourself in debt to do that. It's not helpful that beforehand social
Form is
media
really
didn't exist.
important,
This is like
though.
when I was a child or like in high
Having
school
a
or whatever.
buddy is
Like
good.
I was only
Ariel,
aware
what the
of
fuck?
things that other people with my background, economic background, family's economic
Different
background could
topic.
afford. But now because of social media, like people are just more aware of what kind of gyms are out there, what kind of studios are out there, what kind of things are out there, and they feel more compelled to like buy to be able to feel part of this larger fitness community, I guess. And this does not even begin to cover the amount of expenses one incurs via living the Pink Pilates princess lifestyle, by the way. If you had good music taste last year, you, like me, were probably categorized as a Pink Pilates princess under Spotify Wrapped. While it sounds like ChatGPT garbage, it's unfortunately a real trend born on TikTok in late 2023, and according to Vogue Business, denotes a consumer that enjoys Pilates and self-care, invests in premium athleisure, wellness, accessories, and beauty as part of the lifestyle, and posts about it online. The Pilates princess likes matching pastel sets from Aloe
I'm
or
not surprised,
Lululemon.
Ariel.
She drinks iced matcha lattes. She probably has a morning skincare routine akin to Sydney Sweeney's character in Euphoria. She also loves to
I would
shop.
break out if I tried to
As
have a
content
good
creator
skincare
Vanessa
routine like
Vega
that.
told Vogue
The
Business,
simpler, the better for
currently
me.
I'm loving Lululemon Define jackets, $140, Stanley tumblers, $45, Aloe yoga mats, $160, and matcha lattes, $5 to $8, which align
I
with
do not
the
like
Pink
them.
Pilates Princess vibe.
I
The
do not
publication
care
also notes
about
that she's a fan
the
of
drama
Victoria's
people
Secret
have about
pajamas,
him.
$75, face masks, $30, Jizu hair products, $40+,
This shit's
and
so
Emmy J accessories
expensive.
like claw clips, $45.
Ugh.
Buying all these items associated with the
You
Pink
don't need
Pilates
that to look
lifestyle
good.
amounts in excess of $500. The Pilates Princess aesthetic is an amplification of the Erewhon Juice Cleanse Clean Girl aesthetic commonly associated with Pilates. What's also clear is that both these aesthetics glorify a certain thin, toned
could also
body
get
that was
dogs.
similarly
I
associated
have
with
to walk my
jazzercise
dogs
and
every
bar.
day.
I mean, really,
Otherwise
this
they go
ideal
crazy,
female body
you
is
know?
a stereotypical
And they
dancer
have to go
body,
potty
which
and
makes
stuff
sense
like that,
given that
too.
all these exercise mediums have roots in dance. Jazzercise and bar were created by dancers, and early devotees
The
of
core
Pilates were
strength
also
to do
dancers,
that.
like
Holy
Martha
shit.
Graham and George Balanchine. Kathy Stanford Grant, who
Oh,
is
he
an
had a
apprentice of
cigarette
Joseph
in his
Pilates
finger.
and has widely been credited with bringing Pilates to the masses,
He was
was
like,
also a professional dancer.
Hi, Holly.
Anna Maltby explains, the dance connection makes sense. The Pilates method is an
I said
excellent way
walk
to
and he
prevent
got
injuries
excited.
and to rehabilitate the body after an injury, which is what brought Kathy Grant to it in the first place, and the core strength, mobility, and overall control it affords is very helpful for dancers. However, the idea of the dancer body is a product of the dance community's rife body image issues,
Oh, this
especially
is
in
a
the ballet
whole
world.
nother discussion, too.
You don't necessarily need to be rail thin to be a good dancer. And actually, up until the 1950s, there were many professional dancers who were relatively curvier. But George Balanchine, the founding choreographer of New York City Ballet, popularized the preference for dancers with long legs and tiny heads, a preference that has stayed for years long after he retired.
And I'm not starving myself to death for Balanchine at City Ballet.
The ballet
Oh,
dancers
this
who have these
movie
bodies
had
tend
a
to be the ones who
chokehold
get
on
selected
the
for
Anna community,
performances,
by the way,
solidifying this
in
idea
the
in our culture that
2010s.
all dancers have a certain body type.
Hey,
It's also
honey.
common for dancers who
You
don't
sure
naturally have this
sorry?
build to develop eating disorders or to quit altogether. For example, in 2020, Catherine Morgan posted a YouTube video, Why I Left Miami City Ballet, describing her experience with the company, which lasted just one season. Catherine had previously left New York City Ballet due to an autoimmune disease she was dealing with, and her soloist contract with Miami in 2019 was meant to be her comeback. But when she got there, she was criticized for not looking small enough. She is also a size US 2 for reference.
I was already sort of like, okay, this is clearly not the right place for me. I'm not valued. They wanted a certain look and I didn't fit that look. Directors are absolutely allowed to want a certain thing.
What do you
They are.
mean,
They're human
Ariel?
beings. Everybody
We're
has an
talking about
opinion. I
workouts.
did not fit that mold. My problem is that at a size 2, I was told I was an embarrassment in terms of size. I was told
We'll talk about
I
that
would not
tomorrow.
represent the company in its best light, and I was not an inspiration until I was on stage in pointe shoes looking like a ballerina.
Unlike ballet, which I think has more of an attitude that's like, you're either thin or you're not, Pilates marketing promises thinness, no matter what your starting point is, as long as you stay dedicated to the workout.
Oh.
One Pilates instructor actually
Oh,
went
there's
viral on
Miley.
TikTok for saying
This
that
is
all
her
her
gym.
students have the
Oh.
same body type in her classes.
So good.
It's so crazy to me how just this certain workout gives this copy and paste body type to people who stick to it and do it so much.
can I just say this is an insane thing to say? I have taken Pilates classes in the past, and in my classes, there have been a range of body sizes. So I feel like it's kind of more of a tell for what studio you're teaching at, if anything. And
You
it's
do
just
ballet?
also factually
I have
wrong that
done
consistent
some ballet.
Pilates will change the shape of your body
It's
to look like Miley
expensive,
Cyrus,
though. That's
unless
the
you already
thing.
have a genetic predisposition to look like Miley Cyrus. Or
Expensive
you're
to
doing
get
something else on the side,
shoes,
like going
go
into
to the
a
place.
calorie
Like
deficit,
once I get more money and stuff,
or
I'll
getting
probably take
lipo.
classes again.
Makala also explains that you can't change the length of your muscles, and
He's so
technically all muscles
pricey.
are lean. The colloquial long, lean appearance just means less body fat and more musculature. And, you know, as a disclaimer, I hesitate to make any objective statements about what kind of exercise will get you certain results because every body is
I have to
different.
work on my
So the
flexibility
things that
more
work for
too.
me won't necessarily work for another person. But Makala writes in her piece that weightlifting, along with fixing your nutrition, is the most effective way to lose fat while gaining muscle if that's your goal. And I actually worked with a personal trainer for about half of last year, and she told me the same thing, which is why I feel compelled to share this. But again, everyone is different. Also, there's a factor where if the teachers and influencers promoting the studio all have a similar body type that is different from yours, you might not feel welcome to sign up for
So
the
the thing
classes,
is,
leading to
one thing I do want to mention is if you see all these reformers that you're seeing right here, they have springs at them, or all these kind of like handhold things. These are springs. So there is weight that's incorporated into it when you do reformer Pilates. The reason why I use weights when I do mat Pilates is because otherwise I'm just using my own body weight against me, like calisthenics. And like how she mentioned, it doesn't promote as much muscle growth after like a certain extent. You really, like, I need to start actually going to the gym because what I'm doing isn't enough. I have to do so many reps. So it's like, instead of doing like, it is less strain though. So if you have injuries like a knee injury or like hip issues, this is really good for you. But you also wouldn't want to have the same amount of weight. So these reformers, right here, you can set the tension for the springs so they can be have more weight resistance. Yeah. And consistent routines is the most important part of like gaining muscle mass, because you can't really, like, when you go to the gym and you talk to someone who lifts and they know what works for them, they do the same workouts over and over again. They'll add one workout to the routine, like one movement, and they'll do that for like 2 months before they add another movement in. And they cycle through certain movements depending on what they're hitting. So like if they're doing their quads and their lats, that's what I did yesterday, and I was like, ugh. And then maybe they're hitting like glutes and biceps and back or whatever, like, or abs and like biceps, whatever, however you like categorize things for yourself. You have to do it over and over and over again, and then you have to start slowly upping the weight or the reps. At a certain extent, it's not really helpful to be doing like 100 squats with like no weight. It's just wasting your time. So that's why people add weight, because you're getting that like same amount of burn and you're still building muscle, but you're not having to spend as much time to build that muscle. It's not necessarily, some people do it to get strong for sure, but that's the fastest way to build muscle, because you need to tear those muscle fibers so that they can repair themselves and get bigger and stronger. Yeah, lifting stuff, but you need to eat more. Yes.
To this messed up statistic, this limited study, that everyone in the class has the same body. There are also some members-only studios and gyms that require you to apply with your social media handles. I don't know what goes into the vetting process. I do not work at these gyms, but I imagine they're more prone to accepting people who have a certain look already. Anyways, I don't know where this TikTok Pilates lady teaches, but I'm just saying there's other possible explanations for why all her students might look the same that have nothing to do with whether or not the workout actually creates this body. Anna Maltby actually trained to teach Pilates and mentions in her essay that many studios have an anti-fat bias, which is unfortunately unsurprising for exercise studios. But on top of that, the training is often based on the assumption that every student will be straight-sized.
Not everywhere is
She
like
writes,
that, though.
"This is very frustrating for me as an instructor who would like to be able to teach people in all bodies because I know there are certain movements that don't feel good or simply won't work for certain sizes or shapes." What that means is there might be a few students who came into this class, wanted adjustments that made sense for their bodies, and didn't receive that instruction, so they left the class and went somewhere else, hypothetically speaking.
That type of discrimination
Because,
does exist
no matter
sometimes.
what Pilates marketing tries to make it seem, Joseph Pilates designed this exercise to be accessible for everyone. Like, he literally came up with a whole category of Pilates exercises for sick and injured people. So, if you're looking to teach Pilates or just looking for more adjustments for the workout, Maltby suggests Mickey Havard's book, Pilates for Everyone, which offers several variations of 50 Pilates exercises with photos of people of all different sizes, ages, and physical abilities. She also gives shout outs to
That's what I
Ivy
did with
Barron
my
of Opposite
grandma
Pilates,
growing
who
up.
teaches and hosts seminars for instructors, collectives like
Every
Black
weekend
Girl
I'd see
Pilates
her.
that support Black students and
She'd
instructors,
make me lay on the
and
ground
Studio
and do
MDR, which
Pilates
hosts
with her.
donation-based classes.
I'm strengthening my core, just like Joseph Pilates intended.
Oh, you're doing the min-maxing, Darius.
There's another thing that the TikTok's Pilates teacher mentions in her video, which is that weightlifting made her arms too big, which is why she prefers Pilates.
Just for me personally, my arms will get super big if I lift weights, so Pilates has been my answer to my arms.
I mean, her experience is her experience, right?
Having
but
big
I do
arms
think
is
that
so
the
hot,
whole
though.
general aversion
I like
towards
having
strong-looking
larger
women
arms.
is tired.
I like
I
being
live in the
strong.
real world. I know that many people exercise to look good first, and I'm not going to tell anyone that they should work towards having a look they simply do not want. I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and be like, get big arms or else you're not a feminist. And transparently, I would also love a long, lean body, okay? At the moment, I don't want enough to change my diet to rabbit food.
My body doesn't do that.
But I can admit I envy Miley Cyrus. With that said, I think for us damaged people, we should be keeping our
Damaged
messed up body
people,
ideals to
bruh.
ourselves,
She's so
especially if we are
funny.
fitness instructors, and not spread them online and ruin the next generation of young, impressionable girls. Because the anti-strong women rhetoric has
my
been going
God,
on now for
Dari.
centuries as a way to oppress women.
Okay,
I mean, back
okay.
in the late 19th
You're gonna
century,
miss the
moral
last
panics
part
about
of the
strong women
video.
were weaponized to get women to
Damn.
stop riding bicycles.
Okay.
As women's health specialist Dr. Elizabeth Coman writes in her book, All in Her Head, the teenage girl sexually corrupted by cycling, the woman suffering from a terrifying condition known as bicycle face. These patients
I sure
never
hope I
walked through
do.
the door of any doctor's office. They were phantoms, boogeymen, conjured
Guess
by a
we'll never
medical
know.
establishment and a society that were deeply alarmed by the mere possibility of a woman developing physical strength, stamina, or God forbid, muscles. Bicycle face, by the way, refers to the peculiar, strained set look often associated with bicycling, according to British physician Arthur Shadwell, writing in a National Review article
we
called
only have
The Hidden
like
Dangers of
10
Cycling.
minutes left.
I'm assuming bicycle face was just the face you made when you're like concentrating and trying not to run over horse poop
This
and
Miley
whatever
is
else
hot.
was on those gross Edwardian
Yo.
streets. In 1912, Dudley A.
I'm
Sargent
afraid
echoed
to
these
admit that
fears when he
she's
wrote an
hot.
article for the Ladies' Home Journal titled, "Are Athletics Making Girls Masculine?" A practical
People have
answer
always
to
been
a
afraid
question
of that,
every girl
though.
asks. And the
Should
article
women be
states that
strong?
women should exercise only in very
Yes.
particular ways, lest they overtax their bodies or worse, begin looking like men. In his defense, Sargent wasn't like the worst doctor out there and actually had a lot of refreshing takes for the early 20th century. According to Coman, he didn't even personally care that much about women being muscular, but was just aware that this was a societal concern, and I guess
I
was trying to
personally
address that for the readership.
don't want to be that
However,
lean.
during World
though.
War II, the
Unless
government did
it's,
a whole
like,
switch up.
for a
and was
purpose.
Like, wait, we just sent all the
I'd
men
want to have a little
overseas.
bit on me.
We actually kind of need women to get to work.
I'd be
In
okay
plants
looking
and
like her
factories
too.
all over the country, this was a common sight at quitting time not so long ago. Today, we see a different scene. Women have joined the men in the production lines, and the percentage of women in industry is expected to be
Yes.
much higher.
Look
very
at that.
And so there was a blip in time when women were actually encouraged to be stronger.
We wouldn't be women if we weren't
Oh.
concerned about our figures. But increased activity at our jobs now needs increased energy to do these jobs efficiently.
Hence Rosie the Riveter, who had quite the muscular forearm if you look closely. Around the same time, we saw the birth of America's first professional sports league, the
That's
All-American
so
Girls
funny.
Professional Baseball League. By the way, if
Iconic.
you haven't seen the 1992 classic A League of Their Own, you have to. It's a
It's such a
fictionalized account
fun
based on this
movie.
league, and it's just a very
I loved it
heartwarming,
when I was
sort of
younger.
cheesy but nostalgic story. Tom Hanks plays a pretty annoying character in the film. Don't watch it for Tom, watch it for Gina Davis.
Yeah, I don't like Tom
and
Hanks.
Madonna. Anyway, this was featured in
saying.
the movie, but one of the rules of the league was that the players were not allowed to wear pants, and they were required to wear lipstick at all times.
So
Meaning,
sexist.
you're allowed to play sports, but you have to do it in a feminine way. Going into the post-war period, sweat was still seen as a masculine
They're like, we
and
want to be able to
unladylike
see up
thing,
your
so
skirt
the
while you
ideal
play,
form of
basically.
exercise for women was non-strenuous, and
I
of course,
cry.
thinness was the goal, not strength. As Judy Shepard Missett explained about the mid-century health and wellness industry, the mentality wasn't so much about fitness, it was about looking good. I
How
want to
dare
get
you
my
don't
hips
tell me-
smaller. I want to lose 5
I
pounds.
don't like Tom
It wasn't
Hanks.
about health and wellness.
Oh,
In
look
the
at the
1970s, there
OG
was a
Gold's
growing movement
gym
for
logo.
female
That's cool,
bodybuilders,
though.
but this was met with considerable disdain. For example, in 1971, a doctor named Tenley
Air,
Albright wrote in a report commissioned
You
by
would
the US
not
Department
find
of
me
Health,
attractive then.
the muscle-building type of exercise, such as weightlifting, does not suggest itself to any of us as suitable for girls. Partly because a woman would not look attractive performing, and partly
rude.
because she would have to look unattractive to us
being
if she had the
muscular.
muscles she'd need
It's
to perform
worth
well.
it.
Well, this kind of exercise would not
It's
cripple
fun.
a woman or decrease her ability to keep house well.
I like having a
Jesus
muscular
Christ.
back.
It certainly would not add to her feminine
And butt.
image. We were seeing the idea of muscle tone being an attractive
I
trait
don't know
on
how
the
to
female
describe
body,
it.
but there was always a line of too much. Even female bodybuilder pioneer Lisa Lyon
You don't have
threw
to
some
find me
shade at women who
attractive.
got, in
That's
her
not the
opinion,
goal, by
too
the way.
big, equating them
Not
to have some
insinuating that.
gross caricatured body. And this idea still exists today, hence why a lot of women are concerned that weightlifting will make them look too big or too masculine. By the way, I started weightlifting last year, and I actually really love the effects it had on my body. I honestly didn't notice much size difference at all in my arms, but I felt so much stronger and way more confident and
Do
capable.
you know that you
It's
have
actually
to be
really
on
difficult
stuff
to build bulky muscles,
like,
even if
yeah.
that was your goal. Munchies did a feature on heavyweight bodybuilding champion
Mhm.
Renee Campbell, who explained that she consumes about 4,500 calories a day, goes through 150 eggs in a 1 week, and eats every 3 hours to maintain her physique.
No,
On my
and
typical day, I'd have
most women who are at this level, you don't look too muscular. Yeah, but the thing is it takes a lot to get that muscular. Not just your diet, but a lot of fitness influencers that you see online that are really, really muscular. This could be a whole nother stream talking about this, by the way. But a lot of them are taking basically steroids, but the feminine version of steroids that isn't as regulated in the bodybuilding space or other spaces, where it helps them put on a lot of muscle. Their voices will drop and everything. Yeah, she power lifts for sure, but they'll literally be on roids. Like, it is so hard to get this muscular without being on roids. Like, as a woman, dropping below 10% body fat can be really dangerous. For her, in that photo that you saw, she was probably about like 10%. 10%. When people do body competitions, they can drop all the way down to like 9 to 8%. Women don't drop as low as men do for comps because it's like really rough on their bodies. Yeah. But the reason it's just so hard to get to that level. It is years. If you do it natty, like full natural, it takes like at least a decade, at least, of constant conditioning. Ariel says, it's like men trained their behind only and did all kinds of things to make it bigger, and then when women say that's not attractive, you say, what, can men not train their ass? It's natural, you know? Also, some people, their body weight proportion is different. Like, their muscle will naturally build in different areas easier than it does for others. Like, for me, it's a lot easier for me to put on upper body, like, muscle mass than it is for a lot of other women. And that's because of not just my form, because if you have proper form, you're going to be able to put on, like, add a lot more muscle mass, put on more, like, muscle mass faster, and also, like, what your body naturally does. It's just different for everybody.
breakfast. then 3 of these meals, a protein type meal after training, so that's 5.
But she's definitely
Then I'll
on
have a
roids.
sit-down meal at night, which
You can
I'll
tell because of her
prepare
voice.
separately, so it's more exciting, and then a
Yeah,
protein meal
yeah.
just before bed.
To gain a lot of muscle, you have to also be consuming a lot of protein
But
and other
she
nutrients.
doesn't discuss
because
that
without enough
aspect here
protein,
in the
your
video.
body will break down the muscle. It just will not let you build it. Now, there's not a total agreement on what the average person's recommended protein intake should be, but according to kinesiology professor Dr. Stuart Phillips, you should consume about 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And he cited a 2022 NIH paper in an interview
Usually
with the
the
New York
goal
Times
is
last
like
July. So,
1
getting
per
bulky
pound.
is much harder than you think. And even in
1
saying all
gram
this, like the
per
antagonism
pound.
towards musculature in women is
You don't
purely an
have
aesthetic preference because I think it's actually objectively better for your body to be stronger.
Mhm.
I mean, I think if you're taking a million supplements to reach your protein goals, that might be questionable for your health, but in general, it's good to be strong. After all, muscle loss,
Oh,
also
yeah.
known as sarcopenia, affects more than 45% of older
Another
Americans,
thing that's
especially
really
women.
important to mention is if you do weightlifting properly, you're going to have increased muscle mass. And one of the leading causes of issues for women as they get older is breaking their hips, breaking their legs. A lot of women do not make it through or properly heal after their hips are injured when they're older, and it can cause their death. It's one of the leading cause of death via like surgeries with like complications and stuff like that in older women. And one of the best ways to prevent that issue is to do weightlifting. It doesn't have to be super heavy weights, just anything above 30 pounds is going to be really helpful. And it takes a lot of time to get there, especially when you're older. But building that density when you're young is going to really help your body as you get older. And people just don't get it. They don't try it. They don't understand that lifting isn't going to make you like bigger in a bad way. It doesn't just like make your muscle strong, it makes your bone strong too. So if you, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on this shit. This is so like info dump. But there's a lot of medications that women take that reduce bone density, specifically some forms of progesterone-based birth control, aka the shot. And as it decreases your bone density, you can get more prone, aka osteoporosis, you can get more prone to breaks and having long-term damage as you age. It causes lots of health issues. The women who worked out regularly and lifted as they were taking the shot, the progesterone shot, they had less osteoporosis signs and symptoms than people who just took the shot on their own. And that's like a whole nother discussion. Y'all, like when I said I know about this shit, I know about this shit. I
Loss
take
of
it so
strength increases
seriously
the
because
risk
it
of
is
falling,
really
which is
serious.
actually the top
Even though
cause of
most of my
death from
audience
injury
is
in older
male.
adults, according to NPR.
But that's okay.
Disturbingly, this rhetoric for lean muscle is actually so pervasive that even professional athletes are affected by it.
Mhm.
Dr. Elizabeth Komen reported how the emphasis on having a small body rather than a strong one was heightened by technology like DEXA scans, where coaches use them to keep tabs on the body composition of female athletes. In 2022, the New York Times reported that the pressure on young women to be as thin as possible is so strong, and the leaner is better mindset so entrenched that athletes would be congratulated for dropping body fat even when it made no difference to their actual performance, and even when they got so thin that they stopped menstruating and started losing their hair. We also see these ramifications in
Once your body fat gets lower than 15% as a woman, you're at a higher risk of losing your menstrual cycle. And when that happens, it can take months to even a full year for your body to fully recover from it. It's something that I'm very fortunate I never lost. But that's also because I was very, like, even with, like, when I had my eating disorder, when I was lifting super heavy, when I was doing all that stuff, I never lost it, even though I was probably at, like, I want to say 12% body fat to at times I was closer to like 11, 10%, which is very low for a woman, mind you. When I was that low, I was still menstruating because I was very, very, very cautious about how much vitamins I was taking, my diet, and everything. And I'm very grateful I was. This is like something that I've been really into for a really long time.
Like the Olympic Games, when gold medalist Iman Khalif was
You
under
have
public
to
scrutiny
like
for
educate yourself
possibly
when you do
being
it too.
trans. She's
Maybe not as
cisgender,
much
by the
as
way.
me because I'm
Part of this outrage
obsessive,
is, of
but
course, racism and transphobia, but another part is caused by just a lack of education and representation of women with strong bodies. Like, people just couldn't believe a woman could have that much muscle. In conclusion, this is why Pilates, or Pilates culture, is on my outs list. By the way, to reiterate, I do not care how anyone else chooses to work out. I will not die on the hill that you need to be following exactly everything I do, because honestly, I'm not a good fitness role model anyway. Do not follow what I do. Actually, do the opposite of what I do.
Jazzercise is all about playing follow the leader, you know, sort of monkey see, monkey do.
I mean, I do advocate for weightlifting, but in general, like, my gym sessions are definitely not as consistent as I'd like them to be, and my nutrition is shit. And you know what? There were multiple weeks last year where I didn't exercise at all,
stuff, by
and it
the
probably
way.
would have been better, way better.
It's different area. So the stuff that they give someone if they're going through sex transitions is actually going to be a higher dosage of testosterone than what they would have in. I double checked the medications really quick. Oxandrolone, primobolan, and stanozol. Those steroids that people give, like, the most often to women, they don't have as high of a testosterone amount. And a lot of women can take like those hormones, and they get prescribed them because they have a lower testosterone rate anyways. So for me, I've never had issues with my testosterone or whatever. I've had like thyroid issues in the past. But that's like a whole it's a whole other discussion. But God, I can't believe I'm talking about this on the internet. I was like, I'm never gonna talk about working out stuff. That's like my private personal like thing or whatever. But just without going into a ton of detail, because I did have like an eating disorder, my hormones were really bad, and it caused my body to be really stressed out. And I had a lot of issues with my hormone regulation because of PTSD, which that's a whole, I'm not diving into that aspect of how that interacts. But yeah, it's going to have a watered down effect. Not necessarily. When it comes to hormones, some women do need a mild increase of testosterone, because testosterone doesn't necessarily just help with like looking masculine. It helps with a lot of other things. It helps with like weight regulation. It helps with drive, motivation, that sort of thing. Some women who have low testosterone can be misdiagnosed with depression. Like I said, I know way too much about this shit. My aunt was a pharmacist and everything, and I got to learn about all the different classes of steroids, whether they be topical steroids, injectables, and so on and so forth. She was also a high-performance athlete, and like I said, my family is like lots of athletes and that sort of thing. She was a distance cyclist that competed a lot. She did lifting. She actually helped get me into lifting and everything. And she educated me on this. Just so you know, I know about this because I worked with a pharmacist and when I was learning about all the jazz. But a lot of women, a lot more women than you think, do need to take some supplemental testosterone. And having regulated hormones doesn't mean that like you're gonna have, like, as a woman you should have super low testosterone, because you shouldn't. It's not going to have a watered down effect. It's actually going to help you be at a higher level than you were before. It also helps a lot with not just emotional regulation, weight regulation, or any of that. It can also help with mental clarity, because when you have dysregulated hormones, it causes more issues. And I don't think these women have depression, they just want to look like men. It's not necessarily looking like men either. It's like body competition stuff. Like, once you get so involved in the community, it becomes your career. Like, it's something that you have to keep up with if you want to get paid, basically. in order to become a body comp athlete, so like even get to like Olympia, which is like the highest of the highest level in body comp work, you're not making your money off of anything besides like sponsorships. Like you're doing sponsorships. In order to do the work you do, you have to hire specialized trainers, so on and so forth. And most of these competitions, not all of them, but a lot of the higher level elite competitions will test you for like any roid use that you were using in the past too. But that's like it will get out of your system after a certain extent. And a lot of people, when they do, God, I know so much about this shit. Because I've also met a lot of women who have used it too. But once you start taking like a steroid to help you with your athletics, it can be really, really hard to have motivation to work out when you stop doing it, because it puts you on a whole nother level when it comes to drive if you're not taking it for like valid medical reasons, like you just have low T. Like, and this is for men and women, like both genders, you know? Because having low hormones can be with any gender. It's not just men. So, yeah. There's lots of layers to it. Like, once you start doing it and it's part of your job, you want to be the best of the best. And this also goes into what I was discussing earlier, where a lot of women that you see online who are these high performance athletes, they get liposuction. So that removes like the layer of that fat between your skin and your muscle. And you have to maintain that too. So you can't put on a lot of weight, otherwise you look weird. Like, there's so much that goes into this. I could do a whole series on
for my
this.
health to have
I
gone
don't
to
know if you'd like
Pilates
it,
instead of
but
sitting hunched over my desk all day like Quasimodo. In fact, Danielle Friedman published in her
layered.
2022 book this harrowing statistic. Only a quarter of Americans meet the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's aerobic and muscle strengthening exercise recommendations, and just over half even meet the recommended requirements for daily physical activity. So if Pilates is what gets you motivated to move your body and it makes you feel good, all the power to you. Also, there are benefits. So, you know, if you're trying to like work on your flexibility, your posture, Pilates is great. I personally really enjoy yoga, and I think the practice has similar benefits as well as similar irresponsible marketing. I just want to say that Pilates instructors and influencers, though, are just flat out wrong when they say Pilates guarantees a certain body type, a body type that is actually just baked into eating disorder ballet culture and historical female oppression. And I think it's important to acknowledge and push back against that rhetoric and instead focus on the numerous less aesthetic joys of exercise. As Kelly McGonigal writes in The Joy of Movement, movement is intertwined with some of the most basic human joys, including self-expression, social connection, and mastery. And by the way, I don't even think that there's anything wrong with having a specific look that you're trying to achieve at the gym, but I think that there needs to be more redlining on what that definition entails, and especially when we're looking at women, bodybuilding women who are muscular, like they should not be looked at with disdain or disgust or being questioned about their gender identity. Like all of that is just crazy and is a product of oppressive fitness culture. And, you know, we should just get rid of that. So, okay, this is the end of the video.
Bam.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts. Tear into me if you want. I feel like I tried to make this
iconic.
More.
She's so good. And although a lot of her information does lack some depth, this is also from the perspective of like the everyday woman who's getting involved with like workout culture and so on and so forth. Like it's not like the whole, she just can't answer as many questions and everything. Which granted, there are certain things that I can't really like discuss as much either, because everybody has their blank spaces. But like I said, this was my whole life for like a decade at least. And I was surrounded with the culture and the environment and everything related to it. So as I've been getting back into it, I like to share some of the knowledge with other people who may not know as much about it. And like I said, I grew up involved in this too. I is my whole life. Even though I wasn't allowed to do athletics because of lots of other circumstances, I still was like an athlete most of my life. Even if I didn't do sports. You don't have to do competitive sports to be an athlete. There's a lot of stigma around that. Just so you know. Ariel says, I hate all this stuff. If it was up to me, I would ban surgeries except for medical reasons. I would ban hormone pills, and they're tricked into doing this stuff by Miley Cyrus on social media. Then I will ban Miley Cyrus. No. It's, I think that's funny. I highly recommend looking a bit more into it because it's so layered. It is insanely layered. Like, working out and anything you do is a privilege too. Like, I am so insanely privileged that even though I have chronic like health issues, like hypermobility issues, that sort of thing, and my own long-lasting injuries that make it hard for me to work out, I am so privileged in the sense that I can still work out. And if you still have that privilege where you are not disabled and have to push through that, I highly recommend that you look into it too, because it is something that, even though it's hard, it can only benefit you. And diet is different. Diet culture is separate from workout culture. Remember that. Diet will help you work out, but the best thing to do is get involved in athletics first and then start modifying your diet once you figure out like what you need, you know? Anyways, taking it to the extremes and thinking that you're gonna look like Miley Cyrus or like, I don't fucking know, The Rock Johnson if you work out, not very realistic. Even The Rock was on roids. That's why he's dropped a lot of weight, because he can't take them anymore with his age and everything. Hot tea from the weightlifting community. If you know, you know. But just be careful. Don't go to the extremes. Don't look into what orthorexia is so you can see the symptoms in it in yourself if you start getting really overly invested. And do it low and slow. Like weightlifting, working out and stuff, you're not going to be able to do what you see your favorite like Instagram influencer doing from the get-go. There's a lot to learn, especially if you're just getting into it. So be patient with yourself. Take the time to learn more about your body and yourself. Otherwise, you will hurt yourself. So start slow. And then it's just, you'll feel very accomplished if you keep going. Anyways, I guess it's time for me to go. Now. I would love to talk about this so much more because, as I said before, I have a bit more of a background in this and I love it a lot. But yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow for more casual chats. And I hope you guys sleep well, stay safe, stay alive, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.